There was also a lot of questions last time about the community centers reducing hours and staffing.
Yeah.
Is there going to be at some point, or has there already been a large or a substantial parks response to that concern?
Well, there was. And so in specific to that, and just to kind of by way of background, and Justin can correct me if I get this wrong, but essentially the reduction in what the sort of the reduction in hours actually resulted from a pilot project that we had put in place to increase hours, and then that funding source ended up kind of falling through after 1 year, so we had to cut back to where we were before.
Right.
So it was a reduction to what people had, but it was an increase that we originally had put in. And in working with the mayor's office, we found money to put that pilot back in place, so those hours were restored. But I guess the broader conversation ties to the other conversation we were having about how do we operate the community centers? How many community centers should there be? What kind of programming happening in the community centers, et cetera, et cetera. That's part of the broader strategic planning process. So we're doing this engagement in this planning process, but parallel to that, we're also engaging with the same consultant who helped us complete the first version of the community center strategic plan, sort of to update that and give us some guidance, so that when we go out to the community and talk about community centers, we've got more information about how we could utilize the system of community centers to better serve the residents. So things like how many should we have, what's the level of service, that kind of stuff is part of that planning too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the answer is essentially it's part of the strategic engagement process.
Yeah. Because where we want to get at is some clear agreement across the city about what's the level of service of every community center, right? Like, and because we don't want to keep going back and forth. Did we get more hours here? Or is there a community who can pay for more programs? Do they get more hours? Like, I have concerns about that kind of a model. We want to standardize it, but part of that will be standardizing what the community centers are, and we can't offer every single program that everybody wants at every single community center. So we have to make some tough decisions. Right? We're going to create a sort of a system of community centers maybe that have a certain level of service, a certain number of hours, and then we don't debate that and say you get more, you get less. But then we can add to that by looking at, well, are there some community centers, like we're rebuilding Green Lake, for example. That Green Lake is a regional facility. So if that's a regional facility, then we can design that and build it in a way that can accommodate additional programming, so that folks who want other types of programming that we can't do in their neighborhood community center can go to that. And that's sort of kind of the discussion we're trying to have.
Okay. Cool, thanks.
Probably more than you asked for. Sorry.
No, the repetition I think is helpful because I don't know, there's a lot. Yeah, Tom.
If I could just build on your question about process, I think that the final issue in that is who the ultimate decision makers are.
Yeah.
And I think you indicated earlier that we've heard the concern about Amy Yee and a lot of other projects, but the ultimate decision will be made by the mayor and council, right? So folks at this point can, do a little early investment of time in trying to make their council member or the mayor's staff aware of the concern, so they're looking for it when it comes through, right?
That's the process.
That's a funny response. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.